What's up, everybody? We are live. I am here with my special guest, Amir Ness. We are here to talk Bitcoin mining. And welcome, Amir. Amir with Elevate Group. So a lot of you guys have been asking, what all are you working on, Crow? What are you up to? What have you been doing? And this is one of those things. So everybody knows that when I originally started my YouTube channel, I started into it with mining. I was all about mining, and that was a lot about, for me at the time, it was about Ethereum mining, building up a 6 GPU mining rig and doing all of that. And while it was fun and it was cool, and I definitely learned a lot, I wanted to get into ASICs mining because I wanted to mine Bitcoin. I wanted to mine the grand poobah, and everything that I found was shit in the sense that every company that I found selling ASICs miners, they made it really difficult to get your hands on them. Bitmain, they issue a new technology and then they basically price it out, and then you don't get it for 6 weeks, 8 weeks, however long, all these batches, and then you have all these other companies that buy up all of them. They buy up all of the Bitmain miners the second they're released or announced, and then they're reselling them on a secondary market at a profit. And there's nothing that can be done about that. And I was so discouraged by that process that I just said, to hell with ASICs. I'll build a GPU rig or multiple GPU rigs, and I'll just mine Ethereum or whatever other altcoin that tickles my fancy. And now over the past year and a half, in this bear market, I've been exploring a lot of other options. And everybody that watches my channel knows that I will not promote cloud mining. To me, cloud mining is one big sham, and it always has struck me that way. Even when, you have guys all over the internet promoting one cloud mining service or another, if you do not have something physical somewhere that you own, I just did not trust it. And it's been now, I think it's probably been quite a few months since we first started talking, since Amir and I first started talking. And what started this conversation was there's another influencer, YouTuber, who he came to me and he said, "Hey man, I'm kind of investigating this company." Not really investigating it, but he's like, I want to be a part of this company, and I've been talking to this guy, Amir. He's super cool. He has this huge mining farm in Siberia, and I just toured the facility, and I've got some videos and things like that of me kind of going around in this facility, and I really, really like it. I think it's really legit, and I think you should go to Siberia and check this place out, right? Well, everybody that knows me knows I'm not getting on a damn plane to Siberia, but I did watch all of his videos, and then I thought, okay, this actually looks cool. And so I reached out to Amir, and I just started talking to him. And I said, hey, I've been really looking to be part of a legit mining operation. I want to learn the business side of it. I want to learn the front end, the back end. I want to learn how it all works. I want to basically connect with somebody and build a relationship with somebody that I can learn from. And, the one thing, I just see a comment. The one thing that kind of freaked me out initially was Siberia. In every movie, every cartoon, everything that you see, when people get sent off to Siberia, it's like a death sentence, right? It's not, but that's the idea of Siberia. If you get in trouble in Russia, you get sent off to Siberia to work in I don't know what the hell they have out there, man. You're going to have to fill that in. But, they're chipping blocks with pickaxes for 20 years, hard labor. I don't know how this shit works in Siberia, but that's the idea. And it's so cold there that it's 0 degrees, right? So it's just if you go to Siberia, you're living the life of suck. Well, Amir has ultimately built relationships so that he can operate a mining business out of Siberia. And that's basically what apparently Amir loves to live the life of suck. No, I'm kidding. So Yes, yes, we're gonna get into that for sure. And so, you know, because he travels back and forth and things like that. It's not like he lives in Siberia and he's there 24/7. But ultimately, the idea was, you know, let's build this co-located mining facility in a climate that is naturally like 0 degrees. It's really cold. You save a fortune on cooling, and you ultimately, oh, somebody said you can't hear Amir, so I'll have to check that. I can hear him. I can hear you fine. But let me check. Go ahead and say something else. Yeah, if I guess I'll wait and see what some people say in chat, if they just heard you or not. Nobody can hear you. Let me. Yeah, nobody's hearing you. So let me see if there might be something on my end. That doesn't make any sense at all. Let me check. Okay, now they can hear you. I don't know what happened. We're doing a Verizon commercial now, folks. Let me check my audio settings, because it seems like some people are saying they can, some people can't. That doesn't make any sense. I'm wondering if my audio device will say guess we'll go default with this. Let's see if that. Go ahead and say something. Fine. I'm on an iPhone. We can hear you, Crow, but nothing else. Still nothing. Only Crow. Well, what the hell? This is not making any sense at all. I hear you perfectly clear. I'm adding audio in. Microphone, webcam. I don't want to add too many because do stereo mix. I don't think I have those options. Okay. I'm wondering. I literally have no idea why this would be the case, because let me go into maybe. Oh, wait a minute. Select the microphone. Here we go. Now let's see if you can hear.
Okay, how about now, Jasper? Can you hear me? Let's test it. Yeah, I think you should be able to hear me.
I'm using slobs. So I think they can probably hear you now, but I cannot. So I'm on to something, but hold on a minute.
Yeah, so you should be able to hear me. Stereo mix sound from your mic, sound computer. Crypto Liberty says yes, perfect. Michael Mentzner. Yup, we can hear. Yes, yes. Okay, it looks like they can hear me now. So now it's you. You can't hear me?
Okay, say something else.
Now, can you hear me, Crow?
Okay, now they should be able to hear you, and now I can hear you.
So, okay, excellent. They can hear both of us. Right on.
Now the problem with this though is I think you're gonna echo into my microphone. So hold on. One more try with something. I forget what you, okay. All right, let's try that. Go ahead and say something. Well, I'm not even seeing any reading though. Okay. I just put you. Because if I same as system, let's try that.
Okay, so let's see. Does it work? Can you hear me now? I feel so stupid saying that.
I know, it's kind of silly. I think
it was good when you thought it would echo. So that was
okay. If it was good when I thought it would echo, then I'll just put you here because I do have a directional mic. So,
okay, Jasper. Now you can hear us both.
Okay, we'll just leave that then. It's on a weird setting that I don't typically use, but if everybody can hear it, then cool. I can hear you without my earbuds, so we'll leave it at that.
Okay.
Wow.
Right.
I wish this wasn't live because I wish we could just cut that whole shenanigan out.
Well, that's part of it, I guess.
Okay. Yeah, I've never run into that problem, so that's weird. Okay, so I don't even know where the hell I was, but I was basically talking about Siberia and how it's kind of a scary place especially for most Americans. Yeah. So I guess I will leave it. So okay, well the first thing I want to make sure there's a disclaimer. So I've officially gone into business with Amir. Okay, so everybody knows this. We've talked. We've gone through a lot of different things. I came to the conclusion that I feel like he is a trustworthy dude. He's been very straight up about everything since we started with this, and it's definitely very rare that I find somebody that I feel has an equal level of transparency in what they're doing. To me. And so, he's been very supportive of the fact that, look, if I do this, everything has to be transparent. Everything is on the up and up. There's no shadiness whatsoever. And not because I ever anticipated there would be, but I like to gauge the reaction of people when I say things like that. This is how I work. This is how I operate. It's take it or leave it. There's no shenanigans, no bullshit in between. And if they're instantly like, absolutely, that's what I'm all about. Let's do it. Let's have some fun. Let's build some miners. And he's just had this attitude like, I get it. And that's how I operate. And I respect that. Sometimes I run into people where I'm like, look, this is how I operate. And they start to get a little skittish and they start to stumble their words and they're just not sure how to go about it. And that tells me instantly there are things that they are not telling me, that they have an ulterior motive, and it can be an instant, but I catch on to it. And, so I want to say, I work with Elevate Group and Amir Ness. I make a small cut on mining sales, which I'm not even sure what it is. I think it might be $100 or something. It's really not much. And then I make 5% of the mining yield. That is my commission. And out of that, I basically plan to put all of that back into accumulating more miners of my own. I have already purchased a miner of my own directly through the website, sent him my Bitcoin, did the order. That's it. Like they're not giving me free miners. They're not, I haven't trust. I basically told him, look, if I don't trust the company enough to risk my own Bitcoin, buying my own miners and running my own miners, how could I possibly talk about it, promote it? And I'm in this with everyone else, but I am a part of it, if that makes sense. So I wanted to make sure that everybody knows that. There's no confusion, no question. So we'll go to the next thing. I guess
Right.
from here, so a lot of what we're talking about, everything is at crowmining.com. Okay. Now, I think initially it's probably best if we start off by explaining kind of why Siberia. What is the deal? Give us some truth about Siberia.
All right, so let's do that. I'll start. We'll start with why Siberia, and then maybe we'll take a couple steps back because I wanted to comment on why you got into mining and why I got into mining and why this is such a better platform when compared to cloud mining, which is what most people are familiar with. So, starting out, why Siberia? So when I started looking into a mining farm, and I knew that I wanted to get into mining, I was like, all right, we knew that power cost is one of the most important things. We knew that it had to be a cold climate, right? And so there are a lot of places in the world that had that. There was, even in the United States, in like upstate New York, you have low power cost and cool climate. Now, and you had that in Canada as well. At that time, Canada was becoming really, really popular for Bitcoin mining. And I had some opportunities, but I kind of have to say that I had a lot of foresight because there was one thing that scared me about that. Most people are scared to go to Siberia. I was scared to go into Canada and places that people aren't scared of. And here's the reason why. I figured that Bitcoin mining is not exactly an environmentally friendly type of business. It's not the type of business that's going to provide jobs for a lot of people. So when a Bitcoin mining farm comes into town and wants to suck up a ton of energy that's going to, the power homes, how is that jurisdiction going to really feel about Bitcoin mining? And I said, I don't want to deal with that because even though it might look good now, it could happen in a flash where the city council all of a sudden decides we don't like Bitcoin mining. And then the power supplier comes in and says, we're going to slap a tariff on your low power cost. And sure enough, 6 months later, Washington State started announcing a tariff on mining, and Canada started announcing tariffs on mining, and a bunch of stuff started happening where mining didn't work out. So to answer the question of why Siberia, because Siberia is at the corner of, the world somewhere where it's really cold and it's heavily industrial. Okay. Siberia is actually, you think of it as like there's nothing there. It's not that there's nothing there. There's heavy duty industry in Siberia. So, like, for example, our farm is built in a retrofitted steel mill where there's a lot of power that's already going in there. So we just retrofitted that power and we can scale our power. But the important thing was mining became legal in Russia, and there's a reason why it became legal. We won't get into all of the reasons why, I think, but basically Putin, I think, understands that being a part of the blockchain is going to advance Russia's interests, and therefore, blockchain activity will be legal. So as long as you're, as long as you're not mining in a home, you're legal, right? So that was cool, and I didn't have any problem with that. I had a lot of confidence in that. And the other thing is that power is plentiful. If we want to add another 10, 20 megawatts, which hopefully we will as we grow, then we can do that. So we have everything we need in Siberia, and we have Russian engineers. And our engineers are top-notch, really hardworking guys who really know what they're doing. And, so it's like all the pieces were there. Now the question for me was, who am I going to work with? So my partner and his family, Gabby, are like super people. The family owns the property. that the mine is on. I reached out to Gabby and I said, look, you've got this property. You want to start Bitcoin mining. I want to be able to do the front end of the business, the marketing and sales. And so it was a natural partnership, basically, where they do the operation and I handle the front end of the business. So it just worked out. 10 months out of the year, Siberia is really cold, so we don't need to cool the mine at all. It's just naturally cool. We just have to deal with ventilation. And I'm sure at some point you're going to show the inside of the farm with the miners.
I can do that now if you want. This is pretty quick. This is just one of the videos. I just picked one of them. There are several. Here's one of them.
Hey everyone, we've made it here to the farm in Irkutsk. I want to say thank you to all of you in the room who are active and who have supported us and helped us grow. Thank you very much, guys. Here I am. Here's Crypto Rich right here.
I think I've just totally jumbled all my audio. I'm gonna have to figure out what happened.
Looking forward to getting back to warmer temperatures.
But at least it shows what the facility looks like.
I wonder if I can play it on my computer for you to see. Can I do that?
Oh, they heard sound. We didn't hear it, but they did apparently.
Oh, okay. So they can hear sound?
Yeah.
Oh, right on. Okay, cool. So they could hear the miners buzzing. And that was actually Crypto Rich in that video there. He's the one who introduced me to you. So I have to give him a shout out for doing that. But yeah, so that's the reason why Siberia. Now, do you want me to talk a little bit about why we got into mining, period, and why?
Well, that's kind of a given. I mean, yeah. you know, I think so. They heard the miners, yeah. You know, and just to make a quick point, if you have never mined anything, like if you've never ran like a GPU miner or an ASIC miner, these things are loud. They sound like mini jet engines, and it just goes nonstop. So, you know, one of the things I've had some guys like, well, why wouldn't I just go buy 3 miners and run them myself, right? As opposed to paying a smaller power fee and then a 20% management fee for somebody else to handle all of this for me. Why would I do that instead of just buying them myself and throwing them in a room? Well, easy. Yeah.
So, I mean, bottom line is this. When you're talking about ASIC miners, if you don't have an experienced engineer to set it up and optimize it correctly and to be there and monitor it, when it goes down, you're not making money. And unless you know how to fix that, which most people don't, you've got a problem. Second thing, if you actually need to do some repairs to that miner, you got to send that miner back to Bitmain now. So you're talking about a month to get to China and then a month to get back. You're out of pocket for that whole time. Whereas with us, we have our miners on site. We have the Bitmain repair facility half an hour away from us, driving distance. They have one in Irkutsk now. And you're never going to be able to get the optimum conditions that we have. Your power cost at home is not 5.5 cents per kilowatt hour. So
the national average in the US is 12.5 cents.
Yeah, so you're not going to be able to do this at home, let alone the noise that running 3 miners would have in your house. You wouldn't be able to live in the house running 3 miners in your house. It's not something you can even do. So the economics don't work, and you know that's the reason, because it's just and that's why we started this. I mean, basically, cloud mining, which was super popular 2 years ago. Of course, I looked at that, and this was the solution to cloud mining. The problem with cloud mining, let's say the solution that cloud mining came up with is, hey, everybody wants to mine. So why don't we'll own the mining farm, we'll run everything, and then we'll sell them this mining contract. So let's stop and think about it. What does that mining contract really mean? If we're running the farm and we've paid for the capital cost of running these miners, right? And we're willing to sell you a contract to take the profits of those miners. It means one thing, and this is the flaw with cloud mining. It means that we've done our numbers and we'll make more money by selling you the contract than we will by running the miners ourselves. That's a cloud mining contract. That's essentially what it is. And on top of all of that, they reserve the right to cancel the contract, which they did, and then people were out. So MAS, which is mining as a service, was our answer to cloud mining.
Yeah, I'm getting some questions, talking about, profitability of 3 miners. So okay, I have the crypto compare, the Bitcoin mining thing up, and even though the S17s are typically running at 53 terahash a second, power consumption is 2250 watts. Cost per kilowatt is plugged in at 0.055 cents. And then I basically used a 20% pool fee. Now,
yeah, you could do that.
And this is all but the way everything works is you're basically paying for the power first, and then you're paying the 20%, right?
Yes.
So you're actually making a little bit more than this calculation. You can't really do one before the other. It just kind of all happens at once. So you're actually paying.
You want to use 50 terahash, Crow. You want
50?
to use 50 terahash.
I thought they mined up to 56.
They do. They have different models, but we're using the 50 terahash. We may end up getting 53 terahash, but just to be safe, use 50 terahash.
Okay. So at 50 terahash, you're basically looking at $267 a month in profit at the $7,925 Bitcoin.
Yeah, and I think it'll be a little bit more than that.
Right. So, roughly you're looking at $270 a month in profit per miner. So, if you're talking, well, how much is the profitability on 3 miners? And you can get more than 3 miners. You can always order 3, reorder 3 more if you wanted, or you can put in manual orders for more miners if you want them. If you are I've got a couple guys that they want 25 miners. So we're basically doing a manual order with them. And so, at this point, as Bitcoin rises, so you're basically saying, okay, well, you're ultimately mining 0.05626 Bitcoin per month per unit per miner. And so every miner, and now and so as you're kind of calculating this and you're trying to figure out, okay, well, is it worth buying a miner or just buying the Bitcoin? Because that's what I hear a lot about people when I talk about mining, especially when I talk about speculative mining and altcoins with GPU rigs. People are like, well, I can spend $3,500 to build this 6 GPU Ethereum rig, or I can just spend that $3,500 and buy the coin and then wait for that to go up. That's true. It's not necessarily as true with Bitcoin, in the sense that with Bitcoin, these things are always, what is the life expectancy of an ASIC miner?
Well, on the S9, you can still run them. Let's say 2 to 4 years.
2 to 4 years. So if you ran this thing, now this is obviously not 100% because there are going to be difficulty changes where the difficulty is going to go up and down. There's going to be a lot of different things. I'm actually pulling up my calculator if I can find it. Here we go. So if you're running it, let's just average it out to 2.5 years. So if this thing mined up 0.05626 times 12, and then times 2.5. So each miner could basically mine up 1.6878 Bitcoin, give or take, depending on difficulty, obviously, over the course of 2.5 years. So if the miner costs $3,000, and then let's say hypothetically, what do we think Bitcoin's going to be priced at in the next 2.5 years?
Well, see, this is the thing, and this is part of the calculation that makes it kind of difficult to tell. There's an easy answer and a difficult answer. So let me address the difficult answer first, right? Imagine that the question you're asking, imagine that Bitcoin is super volatile over the next 12 months, right? You buy it at 8, right? Goes up to 12, goes to 9, goes to 13. It does basically zigzag for a year, right? Now, if you own Bitcoin and you're holding through that whole volatility, and at the end of the year, it's 10,000. So your profit was $2,000, right? Now, with mining, it's a different game. You're generating Bitcoin at less than cost. Okay, that's part of the attraction of mining. But if Bitcoin goes up and down and still ends up at the same price that you bought it for in the beginning, well, when you bought it, you're 12 months away and it's at the same price, you didn't make any money on it. Whereas with mining, you were getting a return on your money the whole time. Count. Now, the two factors that nobody can calculate is difficulty and price. Right now, like in the last couple months, as Bitcoin started to move up, mining has become super popular again. It's super profitable right now. If you looked at mining 8 months ago, we were also in a bear market. So was Bitcoin, right? I mean, everything was in a bear market. But the advantage then was that you could buy miners for really cheap. So the bottom line is, it's a really, really complicated formula. And what it may be today, what the answer is today, may not be the same answer in 6 months from now. But if you're gonna buy, and you're gonna hold, you're basically, I can't say it's not gonna be worth it, because if you bought and 2 days later Bitcoin shoots up 30%, yeah, great, you got in on that. But if Bitcoin is going to be super volatile, which I think it will be, and it'll have lots of ups and downs, mining is basically a passive income game. And the funny thing is that the biggest holders of Bitcoin are usually the miners.
Right.
They're the guys that own the most amount of Bitcoin, because they don't look at volatility from 1 month to another or whatever. They just want to set a low-cost mining operation and basically generate BTC at lower cost. That's what mining is about.
Yeah. One question. Are you going to make us KYC?
So we do have a KYC. It's a really simple KYC process. It's basically just to make sure you're not a felon. Okay, that's it. So,
what are the KYC? I didn't even know there would be KYC laws for something like this. Or are there?
There isn't. There technically isn't. We're not a token. We're not a security. We're a data center, and
Right.
you're buying equipment.
It's just a colo facility, basically.
Yeah. So it's just, you just run through it. It's like a verification of your ID to make sure that you're legit. We don't. We send. I'll address this as well, because somebody will ask it. We send your profits to your wallet. Right now, we do it at the end of the month, but we're about to announce a partnership with an exchange where they're going to provide us with dedicated wallets for each account.
And it's not Crow's Nest X, for those of you that are going to assume
so
that.
It's not your exchange. They're using their technology to license to us their wallet technology. And what we're going to be doing is, you're going to create a wallet, and we're going to hook the miner up directly to your wallet and mine directly into your wallet. And then at the end of each week, we're going to take out the power cost and the management fee. So essentially, what this will do is we are literally mining into your wallet. So we don't even do a distribution every month. we're just mining into your wallet, and we just take out the cost of power and our fee.
How will you be able to do that after the fact?
It's not after the fact. It's in real. How do we take out our power costs after the fact? Because if you take out, and this will be in the agreement, if you take out all the BTC and we can't take out our power costs, then we're going to lock the wallet up. Then we're going to take the profits from the next week in mining, basically.
Gotcha. Okay.
So we basically tell you that you have to allow us to take out the power cost and the mining fee, and we do it every week. So there's never a long period of time where too much money builds up and we can't pay our costs.
Are you getting a 20% management fee per week or per month? It doesn't really matter, does it? It's the same regardless.
It doesn't matter. It's the same thing.
Okay. So I worked up that calculation. I mean, overall, it's because of these new, and one question I get that I haven't seen in chat yet is, well, what if these S17s being the latest miner, what if something else comes out, in 3 months or 6 months that's that much more powerful than the S17? How does that affect what they've bought already?
Okay, so there's the theoretical answer to that is there's something called Moore's Law, which is basically at what rate can technology advance? And we're, number one, everybody is basically saying we're pretty close to it right now. Like, we're not going to be able to advance much more. But the other thing is, do you know how long it's taken for these chips that they have now for them to get commercially viable? You're not going to just build another chip that's twice as good and bring it out in 6 months from now. It's not going to happen. Okay. Now, the other thing is Bitmain, okay, who is, let's say, a massive miner as well, they are running thousands and thousands of S9 miners. Okay. Now, if once these new miners come online, the S17s, once the network gets all of those adopted, the difficulty is going to move up, and the S9 miner is not going to become as profitable. Now, you can already see Bitmain is not going to flood the market with S17s. Not only can they not do it because they can't physically make these chips fast enough, they don't want to do it because they're running S9s. It's like they're shooting themselves in the foot. They don't want to do that. So you've got, I would say, full disclosure, this is my opinion, at least 2 years before you have chips, new generation chips from the new generation that we're using right now. That's why everybody's clamoring to get these miners, because they know that the sooner you get them online, the better your profits are.
So something I'm seeing from a couple people, which is actually a good point. If you're able to withdraw funds after payments have been made, that's basically saying that you have everybody's private keys to these wallets?
No, and that's why they're developing the wallet in such a way where private keys are yours, but we have the ability to take out the power cost. I'll have to give you like the tech answer for this from the developers, but they've developed it in a way where we do not have the private keys.
What if somebody just wanted their mining yield to be sent to a wallet they already have and trust?
You can do that.
You can?
You can do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
How would that work as opposed to the new system?
It's going to be, look, we're going to use the wallet either way. So what's going to end up happening, and I think I have the answer, we're going to end up, as we transfer money into the wallet, we will be able to take out the power cost and the management fee. I know for a fact that we do not have the the private keys, because that was something we discussed with them. I'll just have to get you the technical reason as to how that works. Now, as far as them using their own wallet, if they want to sweep the money into their own wallet, they do that.
Okay.
It's not.
I kind of figured that would be the case.
we don't block them from doing that. All we're doing is basically saying, look, if you keep a zero balance in this wallet, then we're gonna have a problem. Basically,
Right.
we won't be able to take our power fee from it. So I'll have to kind of get the exact technical answer from the developers, which I will. But I know for a fact that we do not have the private keys. That was something addressed.
Okay. I think it's kind of silly. Boss man, this is bad vibes from him. Look, just so you know, I've been talking to Amir back and forth now for quite a while. That I'm pretty good about bad vibes, and Amir does not. He does not come. You've never come off to me in any shady kind of way whatsoever. So I don't know. People are just silly, I guess.
Listen, not everybody is. I'm not here, and we're not here to like, I don't know, win everybody over.
Right.
I'm happy
to
answer his question if he has a question.
Right.
I mean, what is it about the bad vibe? I'm happy to answer it. But bottom line, we've been doing what we're doing for over a year now, and people know us. And dude, I'm just like you are. I want to build something good, but I also want to offer something good to people.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And that's kind of how I see that. Like, so just to show people, and then I want to get into the prices. Okay, I want to get into the price. Why is the pricing situated the way it is? So we're going to get into that. But so at 50 terahash a second, with the power costs and the pool fee, or the management fee. Hold on, I'm about to blow my head up.
Oh, okay, wait, hold on, because David Howells mentioned something, and I want to address that. It's not that we are going into the wallet to take out the fee. It's that through the mining management interface, we can take out the power and the management fee. So for sure, and we're going to have the developer on because it's an exchange. We will get you the exact explanation for that. But for sure, there's no private.
I get what everybody's saying. I get the question and why, but it's, and I also understand a little bit more about like your tech side and what you're doing. So I'm not worried about it. I get it.
Yeah.
So, basically,
well,
right.
That's right. Yes. Sorry. What he wrote is correct. Okay, go ahead.
So basically on the calculation side, the idea is, okay, well, what if I just wanted to do it myself? You want to get your own miners, have them shipped to you, and you wanted to do this yourself. Now, the national average, if you Google the national average of power costs in the United States and other countries, for those of you that are international, it could very well be different for you. But in the United States, the national power average is 12.5 cents. So if I were to do the same calculation at 0.12, let's just say 12 cents, at a 1% pool fee, you're still making less. And if it's lower than that, like what is it in Delaware? I think the cost of power in Delaware is like 13.5 cents. But a buddy of mine who's actually in the process of buying a small farm, I guess they have equipment there that they have a direct pipeline to the power company or something like that, and he's able to get his power at 8 cents. That's an extremely rare situation. But the national average in the United States is around 12 cents. I thought it was like 4 cents back in the day. It's not. I was looking at something completely different. So, at 12 cents per kilowatt, to run one of these miners, you're making $250. It's still profitable, which is great, but it's, between the noise and the maintenance and everything else.
Wait a second. You're not making $250 at 12 cents per kilowatt.
Oh, no, you're right. This is 0.12. And a 1% pool fee.
You're making much less at 12 cents per kilowatt.
What am I doing? Oh, that's 12 cents. Right? You seeing my calculation?
I'm looking at it. Hold on. You were using 0.055 and you were getting The 275, something like that.
352.
Right? And then you were taking 20%.
Oh, that's right.
Right?
Right.
And you were getting about $270.
Right.
Now, you're more than doubling the power cost at 12 cents.
Right.
So it's going to hit your profitability a lot more.
Oh, 162. It didn't register, I guess, when I changed it. Okay. Yeah, you're right. 162. Jesus. Yeah, I guess you have to click all out of one of these things in order for it to calculate. Oh wait, that's still with the 20% pool fee. There is no 20% management fee. So yeah, it's $246.
No. Hold on one second. How much? Let's see. 50. Hold on. Power consumption 2260 cost. Okay.
I've got a 2250, which is what the technical readout on the miner says.
And you've got a pool fee, let's say 3%.
I just put a pool fee of 1%, which is typically what I've found.
It's going to be more than that.
Okay.
But that is correct. It'll be a little bit less.
Yeah.
It'll be a little bit less, right? Right now.
Right. So it's a little less, but it's the same yield. You're just paying more in power, basically. But it's still ultimately cheaper to do the co-located thing, not have to deal with anything.
Well, the thing is that you can't do the co-located thing. How are you going to run 4 or 5 miners? The thing is, it's not.
No, that's what I'm saying. The co-located mining is much more efficient overall around any way you look at it than it is to try and buy a few miners and throw them in a basement or something.
Yeah, because I'm just saying the reason why is because realistically, you're going to have breakdowns. We have breakdowns all the time. You're going to need engineers to fix them. There's no way you could do all this stuff. So it's like when you look at it on a spreadsheet and you kind of say, oh, well, I can do it, but you're ignoring what the operating business looks like. So it's not feasible. It's just, if that was the case, people would be doing it. You would get a bunch of people running ASIC miners at home,
right?
But they aren't, and there's a reason why, and this is the reason why.
One of the reasons why is because it's really difficult to get one.
Well, that's at this point, it's difficult for everybody to get one.
Yeah, and so there are a couple questions that I want to get to, but I also want to make note. Some people are like, well, if you look at some of these websites, this shows the miners at 2650. A friend of mine showed me a website where they were selling the miners at $2,100. And he's like, why would I buy they're like 2,800 or 2,900 on Crow Mining. Why am I paying so much? Number one, and I've found this many times before. Number one, a lot of those sites are scams, because if they're not scams, they don't have stock, period. They just don't have any. You can't even complete an order. And so a buddy of mine he's talking about getting 25 miners, and he's like, man, I can go to this website and I can get, 50 of these things for $100,000. Why would I go through and get, pay more through your site? And I told him, I said, I bet you can't. I bet you that's not legit. And then I started pulling up articles it's like scam report type articles about a lot of these sites and how people, because you pay in Bitcoin. So when you're buying these miners, you're typically paying in Bitcoin. And a lot of these scam operations are running in like the Netherlands and Asia and so forth. And you're sending your Bitcoin and then you get a weird error. They got your Bitcoin, you got an error, and they're saying, we never got it. And so you're getting scammed that way, and they're baiting people with these low prices that there's no way in hell you're going to get these miners that cheap. What happens is that a lot of these companies, they're buying the paper on these miners and they're reselling them. And unfortunately, there's no way around that. So what Amir has done with Elevate Group is they basically worked out relationships with some of these guys to still be able to get these miners Though they are still released in batches. It typically takes 4 to 6 weeks before your miner arrives at the facility, is installed and set up. But I'll let Amir discuss some of those key points, and then we're going to answer some questions.
So I'm going to address this for sure, but I just saw a question that was a really good question by Shane. So he's asking, if his miner breaks down, will we replace? Will there be a replacement while it's being repaired? And so the answer is not if you have the new miners. We were doing that when we had a bunch of S9s, and we still do that. The problem is with an S17, we don't carry extra S17s. Everything that we have is allocated to an investor. The difference, though, is that if your miner needs to be repaired, chances are we can get it back up and running in a couple of days, maybe within 24 hours. Whereas if you're mining at home, you've got 2 months that you're down. So our uptime is going to be much, much better than anything you can imagine with home mining. So that's to answer your question. Now, right, so here Aran is saying, I mine ASIC at my house, 1 miner, and I'm definitely interested in co-locating. So that's pretty much like answers your question. Definitely for guys who really want to build a business and have a mini farm and create passive income, there's no way you would want to do this on your own. Now,
what if somebody owns a bunch of miners and they just want to ship them to you so that they're managed by you? They just don't want to mine out of their house anymore.
We took over in the last 12 months. We took over 3 small mining farms. But those mining farms, they had hundreds of miners each, okay? So we did it. It's not our model, but I mean, if somebody had a stack and they really needed it, and, obviously they're going to pay for shipping and all that, then we would look at it. And
kind of a case-by-case basis.
It's a case-by-case, but it certainly we wouldn't do it unless you had 20 or 30 and you're an operating mining farm and you knew the business and all that. Okay, so now let's get to the market. What's going on with miners now? We had a comment in your Telegram room today where somebody came on and he showed miners for 2100, the S17 for 2100, and question mark. And then I told him, go ahead and try to buy it. I promise you they don't have them. And sure enough, he came back 30 seconds later and said, I tried to fill my cart and it wouldn't go. So look, we sold S17 miners last month for $2,600, okay? Because we were able to access and get them at a low enough price where we were able to sell them for that much. Now, the market since then is completely changed. Bitcoin is on a tear. Everybody's thinking it's going to go higher. Mining profitability in the last month alone has gone from $200 to $300. A 50% increase in monthly revenue in 1 month from mining. So we are dealing with a market that basically treats these miners as printing presses, okay? That they're printing machines. And the manufacturers have 2 problems. One is they can't make the chips fast enough. And the other is they know, and this is actually not a problem, it's their benefit, they understand that these things are now more profitable than they were last month. So tell me, how difficult do you think it is for farms, all farms, to get in there and buy these things? It's not easy. We have, even with our connections and our suppliers and all of that, we have to work the market to bid and to figure out how much we can get them at, and nobody is selling them at posted price on the internet and stuff like that. And so it's look, our main focus is mining. We're not an equipment seller. Those companies that are just selling miners online, they don't have any interest to continue doing business with you. We have a business that we're running, which is mining Bitcoin. This business of selling the miner is we're facilitating the sale for you. So yeah, we do make some money on that, but it's not our main focus. Our main focus is to get you mining so that we can make our management fee. And this market is crazy. It's very hard. So, you know, you're not gonna, nobody who looks at posted prices on a website, you know, and come to me and say, oh, what's this? Okay, go ahead and try and buy that.
Yeah. So, and just so everybody knows that they're going to be shooting a video at the farm where they're basically showing the process. So when somebody buys a miner, ultimately the process is miner comes in, that miner is assigned a unique ID number that's attached to the investor or the user or the customer's account, so that you guys know and the engineers know, okay, this miner belongs to so-and-so person. It's on rack A, section B. It's all categorized and organized. And basically they're going to be shooting a video showing that process with my miner, ultimately.
Well, you're going to have your dashboard. So we get everybody has their own dashboard.
Right.
So you will have your serial number inside your dashboard, and you will see your miner running every day. You will see the terahash, you will see the profitability, you see everything. So as far as like being on top of your income and your profitability, you see that every day. This is like a regular mining operation, and we give you access to your own dashboard.
Right.
So this is really important for people to understand. And no, this is not like cloud mining at all.
No. So and to answer Adam R, he basically already explained it. For like the S9s and the older models, they were able to do that, but for the S17s, because there simply just isn't an oversupply of S17s, it's almost impossible to run like an S17 as a backup. But the difference being, if something does happen to your miner, there's a good chance that they'll be able to actually fix it and repair it and have it up and running within 24 hours. So you're not out for 2 months, if you were shipping it out yourself and trying to get something repaired yourself. So I want to get into some of the frequently asked questions, and then that'll likely spawn some other questions as well. I saw one thing about insurance. So can we insure our miners? The answer on the website is yes. While most clients do not purchase separate insurance because the farm has on-site personnel 24/7, we do offer the option to acquire insurance. Insurance is provided through a licensed and bonded local insurance company, the cost of which is $5 per miner per year. Insurance is for replacement value. Please inquire if you would like to insure your miners.
So the thing about insurance is, what do they cover? Insurance covers disasters, fire, God forbid, flood, these types of things. Now, we have personnel on site 24/7, 365 days. There is always somebody inside the farm. So for us, it doesn't really make sense. But if somebody wants to have the extra added assurance, then we give them the option, and they can have insurance. They can buy insurance.
Okay. What is the corporate structure of the farm?
So it's a Russian, and we have the corporate documents on your site as well. Mm-hmm. It's an LLC, and Gabby's family is the owner, and there are like 7 or 8 partners, and they own it. And the corporation is in good standing, and that's the certificate right there. Yeah.
Okay.
And the other one is all the shareholders. It's in Russian. We will get it translated at some point.
First time I saw that, I was like, "Hey, Amir, this is going to cut it in the U.S., brother. No, not many people in the U.S. speak Russian, so you're going to need to get that translated for people." And to spend like a week in Babelfish trying to decipher that probably isn't going to be very possible either. Is there a token or ERC20 contract? Will this be listed on an exchange?
No. So this is really important to mention because we're not a security, we're not a utility, we're a data center. So we are not going to have a coin. We're not going to be listed on an exchange. There is nothing to list on an exchange. You own the miner. We're hosting it for you, and we manage it and send the profits to your wallet. There is nothing else. There's no security here. If you mine with us and you decide in 6 months that you want to send your miners back to your home or whatever, we'll do that. We'll send you your miners. You own them. We don't own them.
Okay.
Picarillo, sorry, whatever. No, we don't have that ability because we cannot charge you in fiat, convert it into rubles, and then pay the power. It's too much of a hassle right now. We've had people ask that before. We might be working something out with the exchange that's creating the wallet for us, where you will be able to do that. But as of now, no.
Bitcoin just broke 8,000 again, just so everybody knows.
So like right now, profitability just went up for mining.
Right. A little bit.
But I'm just saying that because that's how volatile it is. And that's what people, that's why there's such a scramble to get the miners.
Well, that's the thing. For me, this isn't even about today's value, right? Like for me, this is about, so the way I see it, we've got almost exactly a year, a little less than a year now before the next halving. And so we basically have a year to try and accumulate as much Bitcoin as possible before the next halving occurs. The price basically doubles and away we go with the next, the next cycle of Bitcoin. And so I know I want to accumulate as much Bitcoin as possible between now and then. I'm looking at the next year for me as being kind of like my retirement build year. I'm trying to do as much as possible to ultimately not have to do as much at all from then on. And that's really kind of how I look at it. I want to go into like the development stages and I want to be able to, I just basically want to empower myself to be able to do whatever I want in the space, for the love of the space, not because I'm trying to pay off bills and things. And so, when I look at this, I look at, okay, well, I'm going to be Bitcoin mining and I want to continue to accumulate more miners as possible so that while the getting is good, I'm able to accumulate as much Bitcoin as I can. I'm not even so much worried about the price of Bitcoin today. Like this whole profitability, if I were mining specifically to sell what I mine as I'm mining it, then that's cool. Yeah. But I'm not doing that. I don't give a shit, honestly, if I'm making $267 a month or $50 a month. As long as I want to, my big thing is I want to return on my investment sooner. You know what I mean? But that's it. That's all I really care about.
So there's an important question which I'll answer, and that's a good point. When you mine and you hold your BTC and then BTC goes up, your ROI, your return on your investment also goes up. Mm-hmm. So you're making $256 this month. If you hold your BTC and next month BTC goes up by 20%, you just made $300 on that for that month, as long as you hold your BTC.
Right.
And I can tell you that almost all of our investors are long-term holders. They do not sell their mining profits. They hold them all. That's like 95% of our investors. They're all long-term guys that just want the passive income. Now, somebody asked a question which to address. Okay, so Jashawn Mills, how do we, the owners of the miners, how do we verify they're being honest with us with the cost of power? So that's very easy. You can run the numbers yourself on a calculator. There's no way around that. The cost of power, we post the wattage that each miner uses, okay? So you have the watts and you have the cost per kilowatt. That's it. That's what you need to figure out what the power cost is. So we're able to be transparent because the numbers they're independent without us doing anything to them. You have access to these numbers. So again, all you need is the cost per kilowatt hour and how many watts you've been running. And that's it. You can figure it out yourself. So we post that every time we do a distribution.
All right. You're growing on me.
You're growing on me.
That's funny. Yeah, for me, this is all about.
Talk to that other guy, Moz. I was irking Moz out for some reason.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, you know, like everybody has a different, a different perception of people, I guess. Yeah, I mean, ultimately for me, I don't care what the profit per month is, because I look at it like, okay, well, if I'm mining Bitcoin today at $8,000 and it's already profitable, I mean, if I'm able to accumulate, you know, half a Bitcoin or a full Bitcoin before it gets to 50 grand, and then all that potential earning is retroactive, you know what I mean? It's just, to me, it's just, I don't care so much what it is today, because I strongly believe in what it's going to be tomorrow. Yeah. So just to kind of let everybody know, if you're at crowmining.com and you click register, basically this here, I'll get back here. So if you're at the homepage, you're say, okay, I want to go to crowmining.com. What do I do? Well, then you click register. You set up your account, your username, email address, repeat it, password, I'm not a robot, hit register, and that's pretty much it. From there, there'll be other tabs at the top that'll say order or reorder, you know, start mining, sign up, reorder, sign in. And then you'll be presented with two different miners, and then different orders. I think it's 1, 3, or 5 units. And 5 being the max for the online order, right, Amir?
Yeah, no. Is it 5? Yeah, I think it's 5. Yeah,
I think it goes 1, 3, and 5. And then, you know, if you're wanting to get more, you can always reorder another 5 units, or if you're wanting to do just my allergies have been blowing me up for like 3 days. So my nose is itching, my eyes. I've already been watering my eyes. I've got these. I'm like a mess. I need to go get some Zyrtec or something. But anyway, the process is super simple. Once you picked what miners you want, you add them to your cart, you click checkout, you're given a Bitcoin address, you send basically the price of those miners in Bitcoin, the account goes through. Don't freak out, because when I did it, I'm like, we were trying to figure out, like, did it go through? Did it happen? And I basically just waited. I chilled. And it did take, like, I don't know, it took probably 15, 20 minutes, I would say, maybe 30 minutes. And then the order popped up, because the confirmations have to happen on the blockchain. And then once that's been confirmed a few times, the order is confirmed, you get an email, and then everything happens. And then it's 4 to 6 weeks. That's the only part that sucks. It's just waiting 4 to 6 weeks.
And also they get the agreement. They e-sign the agreement inside there. That's important.
Yeah.
The other thing that's important, somebody asked about the warranty. Each miner comes with the warranty, which is a 6-month warranty, 180-day warranty. But we have added maintenance for free. So even after your 6-month warranty, as long as like if you have a part that needs replacement or something like that, we will handle that for you. You don't need to do anything. So we maintain the miner for free.
It asked for NEM wallet. Apparently, we can't get rid of that.
We deleted that. That's an old question. We deleted that. It's gone.
Okay, so the NEM wallet thing should be done or gone.
Yeah, it's gone.
Crow's emotional again. I'm not really. It's funny. I haven't been super emotional. I've been very, very focused lately, and I haven't been an emotional anything recently. I don't think. Well, you know what? I'm lying because I have been. You know what's been getting me emotional? For those of you who really want to know, is watching The Damn Voice. That's what's been getting me because Mei Lin better win The Voice, or I'm boycotting that damn show for life. That's what got me emotional. When she sang "Stay," that got me emotional to the point where my wife thought it was funny. So anyway, what are the risks? The risks are Bitcoin mining can be extremely volatile. It is not uncommon to have ROI swings of 50% from one month to another. Moreover, because profitability is contingent upon Bitcoin price and mining difficulty, two things which cannot be predicted into the future, any calculations made with today's number may not be applicable 1 month from now. This investment is geared towards high net worth individuals who understand the risks associated with Bitcoin mining and are comfortable taking those risks. Outside of that, let's face it, Amir, a lot of people are saying, well, some other risks are Amir decides to get out of mining business and just bail, right? Like, some of the risks are, when people think about doing business and storing tangible goods in international territory in hopes of generating profit, there are some concerns there. I mean, and for me too. I mean, let's face it. You and I aren't brothers. We're not family. I don't know you like I haven't known you for 25 years. You can just up and decide, you know what? I'm just going to redirect all these miners to my own wallet for a few weeks and just ship out to Panama. Like, who's to say that can't happen?
So let's like look at the reality of the question. The reality of the question is, what if he's a crook?
Right.
And so the bottom line is that the only answer I can give is, okay, I'm not. But what am I? You know what I mean? Like let's not bullshit. Like
right.
that's the question that's being asked. And so the bottom line is, I'm here. I've created a great platform with Gabby, and we want to grow the business. We have 10 megawatts running right now, but we have the capacity for 100 megawatts. We have other deals with other people who want to block out large blocks of power, and we want to grow the business. So I've never been in a business where that was a concern, because it's just not like that in other businesses usually. The blockchain and crypto has this massive, understood fear to it. And the real truth is, there's nothing I can tell you that will allay your fear. I am who I am. I'm very transparent. I make myself available to people. If they write me, if they call, I answer. We invite people to come to the farm, by the way. So if anyone wants to come to the farm, we will help you get set up and come to the farm. I visit like twice a year. And if you want your miners back, you can tell us and we'll ship them back to you. The thing that we have that works is really good economics. And we will make money and you will make money, and we want to grow. That's the bottom line. Like this isn't something where we want to run away with money. That's not the point here. So
right.
That's the only answer I can give you.
I get it. And so again, the website is crowmining.com, CROW mining.com. That's what I'm on. That's what this website is right here, crowmining.com. And again, for those that have come in late, I have purchased a miner myself, okay? But I've purchased a miner, because I want to accumulate miners like everyone else. But I bought my own miner through my own site using my own Bitcoin. It's there. That's all there is to that. I bought my own miner. I plan on getting more. But as basically a marketing partner with Amir and the Elevate Group and everybody, I make a small stipend off of the miner sold, which I think is like $100. Is it like $100?
It comes out to about $87. Yeah.
Yeah. So basically nothing. And then and then 5% ultimately of the management fee. And so I'm basically making 5% is the way I look at it. And I'm basically using that to kind of build my own platform, like my own series of miners over time. And so if for whatever reason this were all go bunk, I probably would end up with nothing. But I don't anticipate that being the here's the thing that everybody, and I think everybody kind of gets this. I get approached all the time with people in their businesses. I get approached constantly by every kind of company you can think of. And, if it's not an industry, or if it's not, just because it's crypto related doesn't mean I'm all in. I really, really do dig mining. I just love the idea of mining. I love the idea of, think about it. As a miner, I am ultimately pulling these Bitcoins out of a finite supply and putting them into circulation. I am bringing them out into the world. I know that sounds silly.
You're bringing them out.
I am. It's like, have you watched the Bitcoin and Friends, that cartoon?
No.
Oh my God, dude, you gotta watch it. It is freaking great and it's hilarious. But it's so true. You're giving birth to Bitcoin babies, man. That's basically what it is. And I feel like that is playing a significant role in history in the making. And I dig that shit. That's why I wanted to really get into mining to begin with.
I think why people dig it is because it's passive income with a really attractive return.
Mm-hmm.
And who doesn't like passive income with an attractive return? That's what people dig about Bitcoin mining. That's why I got involved in it. So,
it's definitely nice. If you can do all this and you're making good money, it makes it all worthwhile. Sure.
Here, look, Mr. B, been mining 5 years now, just can't stop. That's what happens when you get into mining.
Right, it's addicting.
And there's ups and downs, and that's just part of the game, and there always will be. We're just getting out of a bear market, so right now is like a really hot time for mining.
Right. Yeah, I'm looking at it purely from a mining perspective. I'm looking at it okay, over the next year, how much can I mine? How much can I accumulate? Okay, how much is the initial investment for us? It basically, the miners are like 2,900, aren't they? 2,800. I don't know, because it fluctuates with the price of Bitcoin, right? I don't really know how much the price is.
It fluctuates with the cost, but we started out with a minimum of 2, but we took that away because the cost went up. So one miner right now is $29.99.
Okay. So basically, the minimum is $3,000, which would basically get you a miner. And you can get up to 5 miners yourself on the site. If you're trying to order more miners than that, you would just do a manual order. So you would just join the Telegram group. The links are down below this video, so you can click the there's a link on crowmining.com. For the Telegram group, which is like the support group. You can get all your questions answered. Amir is pretty much always in there. I'm in there checking it out. So I mined over 200 Bitcoin in my time. Wow, that's crazy. Crazy. So look, I think we've answered pretty much everything for the most part. I encourage everybody to join the crowmining.com Telegram group. Continue to ask your questions there. Look, I just really want to build a mining community. I really want to build a group of people. We're all mining and just talking and just kind of having a good time with it. Once your miner's set up, I should be getting mine set up here within the next 24 to 48 hours, at which point I'm going to have my dashboard. And so every time I do a video, basically I'm going to be going over my dashboard real quick. What's the price of Bitcoin? What have I mined so far? This is what my profitability is. And I think that'll help put things into perspective for people. Even if you only have one miner, And as I add miners, of course, I'll let people know, hey, I've added a second, I've added a third, whatever I'm able to accumulate, I'll let everybody know this is what my returns are right now. And as Bitcoin's price goes up, everybody's going to see what even a small number of miners is able to help achieve. And I think by being able to see that in my own dashboard and to show that to people, I think it'll really help put things into perspective. What is the minimum mining package? Is 1 unit. Oh, what's up, Melanie? Yeah, I know Melanie's not going to be mining this shit up by herself in Miami. I'm pretty sure power is not cheap over there. But yeah, you can get 1 miner, Melanie, or you can get up to 5, or you can get, you can really get as many as you want, but you just larger orders you have to do manually. So join the community, and everything is right there, Crow Mining. I'm going to call it here. We're at like almost an hour and a half. I think what we need to do, I know that people have been getting miners so far. I've seen the orders come in over the past week or so. And I'm looking forward to seeing, do we have the option to shut the miners down if the price crashes again?
Yeah, so that's a good question. Let me address it.
Yeah.
So we did not shut down once through the whole bear market running S9s. This question is related to what Genesis Mining did, which is cancel contracts. Right? So they had their own profitability figure and then decided that, oh, it's not profitable for us to mine Bitcoin, so we're canceling your contract now. We don't have that. We mine, you see your dashboard, so you see the profitability, and we did not stop mining for the whole bear market, even though there was like a month where like the profitability was like $4 for the miner or something like that. So to answer your question, we don't do that. The only thing, God forbid, would be like if Bitcoin crashed to such a price where it really wasn't profitable, and in such a weird, crazy case, let's say, we are not going to cancel anything. All we're going to do is not mine for a week or whatever, 2 weeks until it becomes profitable, and then your miners get turned on again, and that's it. Our management fee, the way we make income is by making you income. Our interest is for our client is to maximize the profitability of our investors. That's how we maximize our own income, and that's exactly why cloud mining sucks.
Cloud mining sucked. Yeah, I saw that question too. I thought that was a good one. I mean, ultimately, it's really not about the value of Bitcoin today. The only reason the value of Bitcoin today is important is to decide when have you generated your first bit of return on investment. In other words, when have you mined more value in Bitcoin than the cost of the miner itself? And so that really is only important if you don't believe Bitcoin's value will ever go up. And so for me, I don't give a shit if it's a $4 monthly profit or not. What I care about is how much Bitcoin am I able to mine up every period of time. That's what I care about. I expect Bitcoin to be $100,000 at some point. I'm not worried about what it is today.
It's funny because I can tell that Mr. B is like a super experienced miner because he just never turn off the machines.
Yeah,
and that's what a lot of the big time miners, they won't turn them off even if were mining at a loss.
Right.
They would continue mining. And look what happened. It was worth it. They just made a lot of money because they were mining more Bitcoin, basically.
Right, retroactively.
Yeah.
So yeah, look. Overall, I'm like super excited about this. I'm excited to feel like, look, I'm a part of a mining operation that I feel I can trust, that I like the dude. Like we chat all the time and it's like, I don't know. I'm like really pumped about this, and I'm excited to see where it goes over the course of the next 6 months, the next year. And hopefully it's one of those things where, look, we just continue to build out, and before you know it, you're in 2-3 buildings filled up and everybody's just powering through and making a bunch of Bitcoin. And I don't know, maybe we have a big crow mining celebration at the end of the year right before the halving or something.
In Siberia.
No, not in Siberia.
One
not in Siberia. We can do a
no,
live feed from Siberia to where the people are in the warm weather.
Crypto Rich made it out, and it was good. But here's what I will tell you: I am actually going to be going to the mine in about another 6 weeks. I postponed it. I was going to go at the end of this month, but I just postponed it. So one thing that if anybody wants to come to the mine, we can arrange that, and that's not a problem. You got to pay for your own expense, but we will facilitate everything for you and make it easy to get there, which it is. It's just a 5-hour flight from Moscow. So that's not a problem.
Just a 5 hour. I don't think I've ever been on a flight longer than 4 hours. So for me, that means flying to Moscow just to go and then fly again to Siberia. I will tell you now, that will never happen. The only way that could possibly happen is if the second coming of Christ were predicted to happen in the next week.
In Siberia.
And it said everything's going to burn except Siberia, then I might get on a plane and go and take the time to travel to Siberia. Until next time, guys, we're going to call it. More videos coming soon about crowmining.com. Join the community, join the Telegram group. Let's chat it up. I see people joining there now. Come into the chat. Let us know what you think about this video. Did you learn something? Did we answer your questions? If you have more, ask them in the group and we'll be on you like a fly to a turd, making sure we educate you on Bitcoin ASICs mining. Thank you, Amir. I appreciate your time. I'll be chatting with you, I'm sure, more tonight. And until next time, crow your coins, folks. Let's mine a whole hell of a bunch of them. See ya.
Cheers.